And the next thing I know, my chance with her is blown, cause my mouth gets carried away. I'm tongue-tied, 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 tongue-tied.
So I just wanted to read a comment that was left under my 5 ways to pass her pull-away test, because this guy here really gets the whole idea of remaining detached or indifferent to outcomes. And it's a skill set that you as a man especially really need to build, because not only is it gonna help you in your relationship life, it's gonna help you in your job life and in dealing with people in general, because life's gonna throw stuff at you. You're not gonna always get your way, but you do have control in how you react to things, whether it's not getting the job you want, not being able to move to a certain city or state at the time, or not being able to get the woman that you want. Or in this case, a woman that you do like, that you seem to have good connections with, suddenly pulling away. You have the ability to decide how you react to that. If you react as if you're, trying to beg for her attention to come back, well, that's a way you could react, but are the results that you're gonna get with that going to actually benefit you? More often than not, the answer is no. Versus acting like more detached and acting more like, hey, if you don't wanna choose me, I'll find somebody else. It is what it is. How that reaction, what that'll get you when you do it that way. So let's get into this guy's comment, and then I'll stop at parts and give some further commentary. So this guy says, comes down to it is remain detached. At the top of the honeymoon phase, they will pull away and deliberately, subconsciously do something to hurt you at the peak of your vulnerability just to see how you react. Funny enough, this can cause you to discover some important things about yourself you had no idea about and identify areas you need to improve. Well, to start, I'll say this. Realistically, to feel a little bit uncomfortable, and that feeling will cause them to back up a bit. But if you're able to not validate those feelings, like let's say she pulls away and then you don't overreact to it, then she can say, oh, maybe he's not as needy as I thought he was. I was just tripping, but now let me go back to him because I really want to see him, and he hasn't talked to me like 2 days and I got to go check it out, right? But if you're reacting as like she starts to pull away and you're like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? Hello, please talk to me. Now all you're doing is validating and confirming the feeling she was having, which now caused her to pull away a lot more. But to the point, yeah, like, because I've dated women where they don't pull away at all, but at this point in the game, I know to already go in dating them with an air of patience to where I'm not ever overrunning on her feelings because I'm always slightly behind where she is in the feelings realm. Therefore, she has to come to me. As I always tell you guys, if she's chasing you, she can't be replacing you. But if you're constantly running up on her or constantly trying to text her all the time, then it's gonna lead to pull away. But that said, this will usually happen very early on. And if you're not aware that's going to happen, it's going to surprise you and you're gonna react the wrong way. I remember many years ago, there was a woman that I was dating and I found this out by accident. Like I had definitely been contacting her a bit too much and then she started, not texting me back as much. And I was getting all like annoyed and desperate and not knowing what was going on. And finally I just said, you know what? At the end of the day, you can't force a person to want to spend time with you. So just give her, she said she needs a few days. So let's just go with that. She said she needs a few days. Let's just give her that few days. So for like 2 days, I did not contact her. Third day comes, she hits me up. Hey, Harry, what's up? Want to come over? And I was like, I just like, yeah, sure. I didn't try to argue. Well, where have you been for 2 days? Why haven't you talked to me? I was just like, okay. I gave her the time. She was able to reset. She wants to see me. Let's go over there. And I was able to go over there, have a good time. And from that point, in terms of me dating that particular woman, I was not trying to be so heavy on her as I had been before, all right? But that's the point, is that if a woman starts to feel uncomfortable, yeah, she's gonna throw this little test out there. That's probably a subconscious test. Like, it's not even like really a thing she's actively trying to do, although some women do. But like, yeah, because it's that feeling of like not being comfortable around you. The whole goal of dating in the beginning is to try to make her as comfortable as possible. You texting, calling, being there all the time is not gonna do that. And subconsciously also, she wants to be able to build up to earning more of your attention. If you're not allowing her to earn more of your attention and you're just giving it to her freely without being earned, it makes women feel a little uncomfortable, all right? Continuing, he says, if you act needy and clingy, you need to look deep inside of yourself and wonder why you are so overly invested in this person. Do you have a life outside of this person? Do you have a void in your life that you wish to fill? If you have problems, work on yourself. Absolutely. Because here's the thing, is that it's true. If you don't have a life going on outside of this person, or let's even take that back a step further, okay? If you are, after 2 dates, trying to make this person your whole world, this goes back to, she knows she has not earned that yet. So you're giving her the world and she's like, but what did I do to earn this world? This feels weird. This feels suspicious. This feels like he's pressuring me into a relationship. He's trying to rush it too fast. What is it about him he doesn't want me to know? Like, what am I going to find out if I say yes to this? Like, I don't know. And so, yeah, you have to be able to be the kind of guy that has other stuff going on, other distractions in life, that are going to allow you to not focus so heavily on her. Whether it's your job, your passions, whether it's seeing other women while you get to know this one, like all these things can help in terms of you not appearing as a needy and clingy guy to women, all right? Further on, he says, if you get angry and indignant, seriously assess your expectations for the relationship. You resent her because of your unrealistic expectation. So you're subconsciously thinking, this could be my last shot. This could be the only woman that ever wants to date me. I got to make sure I get everything right. But in the process of that, you're doing too much too soon, which is now actually the wrong thing to do. And I get it, because guys can be very, very afraid of potentially doing something that's going to lose a woman. So it can be very counterproductive in your head to think, wait, so if I tell her I can't see her today, or if I don't text her all the time, or if I wait 4 days to call her, that, Harry, you're saying that that'll allow me to actually build up her attraction, but I haven't tested that out and it sounds stupid. So if I don't talk to her for 4 days, she's gonna be swept up by some other Chatter Tyrone that got in there when I wasn't talking to her, and I can't risk that. So you see how fear can play a big part in you starting to do things that, ironically enough, make her pull away and bring those fears to life. And this is why you guys really got to practice. Some of the stuff that I teach you guys, it might be new concepts. You might be thinking, but this sounds crazy. Why would I do these things? But look at what you're doing right now. Is what you're doing right now actually working? If not, it's not going to hurt you to try something new that has been tested by somebody that's been through it before and is saying, this should in fact work, all right? But again, you can go to the website to join the Introvert Dating Success Academy and learn some of the step-by-step stuff in the dating process that's going to really help you out. Anyway, so then he says, if you're pretty cool about it, meaning your reaction to what she's doing, the pull away, it means you aren't very attached to her. And so you can decide if you want her or not. Again, this might sound counterintuitive. Like, wait a minute. So if I'm cool about her pulling away, it means that I'm not attached to her. But if I'm not attached to her in that strong way yet, then it means that I'm actually in control of how often I'm going to see her, which is true. And the other thing too is when you're not attached to her and she pulls away, she's gonna think, oh wow, he's not attached to me. That's great. But wait a minute, why isn't he attached to me? Like, am I not the hot stuff? Am I not good enough for him to be attached to? Did I not do enough to get in his good graces? You know what? I need to spend more time with him to make sure I am the kind of person he'd get attached to. Again, and it sounds stupid, and some of this stuff really is stupid, but you gotta know how women operate. And some of it's not gonna make sense to us, much in the same way a lot of the ways that we function don't always make sense to them, but you have to know that. You have to know that when she pulls away, the easiest way to get her back is to not chase her. You gotta know that by you being not so attached, it's gonna make her wanna attach more, and this is how it's gonna be most effective for you to get the woman that you wanna date. Continuing, he says, human relationships are very much so push and pull, which is true. And so you have to accept that. People come and go. Remember that. Focus on yourself and your own best interests. If you feel yourself falling too hard, set some boundaries. So to the first part, I want to say this. Even in your day-to-day relationships with your friends, your family members, there's going to be times in those relationships where you may not be around that person as much. They may not want to see you as much, you know? I've had friendships that have lasted now 20, 30, 35 years, and there are times where with those friendships, I'm just not in close contact with them, or I'm going through things where I can't be around them, or I've made them mad in some way and they can't be around me, but we've always managed to come back to the table. So pulling away isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good way to be able to reassess and reset before really taking on a relationship. Sometimes, let's say you dated a woman for like 2 months, and then she starts pulling away a bit. Well, part of that pull away could be having her think, okay, I really like this guy, but like it's getting super serious, and I just got out of a previous relationship where it got serious, and I don't want to make sure I'm not messing up, so I just need time to think to myself, and I got to pull away. And if you respond to that with, hey, take all the time you need, then it's that weird thing of like, when you give people the freedom to make the choices that they want to make, they're usually going to choose you. So if you say, hey, if you're feeling some kind of way right now, take your time. If you decide to get back over here and do whatever it is, what it is, usually there's enough respect there where it's like, oh, he's letting me choose. That's so great. I don't feel pressure now. And you know what? I respect him so much for that. I actually want to be with him. Versus, no, baby, don't leave me. Please come back. Now it's like, oh, he's not respecting my choice. He's trying to chase me. He looks desperate and needy. This isn't really masculine, and I'm out. You know? And again, it's just how they're wired. So you got to respect the game. You got to know how women function to be able to play the game properly, because this all ultimately is a game. Women are trying to do things to attract you. You're trying to do things to attract them. And much like pieces on a board, if you hit the wrong spot or do the wrong thing, you're out of the game, you know? And so when women start to feel that uneasiness, part of the game is like, hey, the game is not you go rush to them. The game is you sit back and wait, or you sit back and go find other people, and she'll see that you're not trying to push the situation and probably come back to you. All right? Continuing, he says, it may feel contradictory because you want to be with someone who wants you as much as you want them, but that isn't healthy if how much you want them isn't healthy. Be present in the moment. Yes, exactly. Some of you guys that are watching this have a woman out there right now that you just really, really like, but you've only been on like 2 or 3 dates with her, maybe had 1 or 2 hookups, and you're already throwing all this stuff at her as if she should automatically be yours, and it's been like 2 weeks. Dude, that is not enough time that the woman needs to be able to solidify her feelings for you. 2 to 3 months. So you need to slow this thing down and recognize that part of the reason she's pulling away is because you're doing a lot right now, and she doesn't need you to do a lot. I think most guys come to the table already ready to give a woman the world, and the reality is that you gotta spoon feed them your world. You can't just give them a big old plate of your world and then expect them to be happy that you're giving it to them, because most women are gonna feel like that's kind of like a manipulative tactic. Like, you're doing all this nice stuff, you're gaslighting her, you're love bombing her, but why? They always get suspicious. Why is he saying I love you so soon? Why is he trying to give me all these gifts so soon? Why is he trying to compliment me all the time? I talk about this extensively, by the way, in my book, No Girls For You, which you can get the ebook and funny soundtrack for right now at the website. But yeah, you got to give women time. And so don't look at pulling away as a bad thing. But really, like you said, study up on when women are pulling away. How do you feel about that? Why are you so angry? Why do you feel so apprehensive? What is it about this woman that's making you want to give her every single thing right now instead of pacing it out? What fears do you have about slowing this thing down that are making you think, well, she's going to go to somebody else or get swept up if I don't do all the time, versus kind of being able to just sit back and say, like, you know what? I can take my time with this one. If it's meant to be, she's going to eventually want to be with me in 2 to 3 months. Let's just slow this down to like 1 date a week or whatever. Like, really ask yourself those kind of questions. Now, a lot of guys are anxious. I was anxious at one point. I'd be all nervous. Like, I'd ask a girl on a date and be trying to like text her 10,000 times before the date to make sure it's going to happen. Now, I just show up. I don't do any reconfirmations. I set a date and say, great, I'll see you there. I go pick them up. I don't ask, are you still going to show up for the date? I hope you're going to be there. I do none of that stuff. And so I don't do actions when I'm getting to know a woman that are going to make her pull away in terms of like, you know, overextending myself too much too soon. And if you're doing that, it could simply be you're anxious, you're not confident in yourself, you meeting this one girl for the first time and you're thinking this is the only girl that's going to ever want you because no other girls want you like this, and it's causing you to panic. I don't want you to panic, all right? So I'm always here to help. You can watch more of my videos. You can go to introvertdatingsuccess.com and sign up for one-on-one coaching, sign up for the Introvert Dating Success Membership Academy, get my ebook, get my album. But all these things are designed to help you so you can get out of that nervous place and start being more confident and being able to date at a pace that's going to ultimately help you and allow women to stop pulling away from you. So hopefully this helps you all out. Thanks to that guy that left that comment. That was very, very insightful stuff. And for more of these videos, go to my YouTube channel at Harry Wilmington. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace.
When I see a hot girl, my tongue gets twirled.